much would you sell this bike for? And how much would somebody else be willing to pay for it? Maybe one person thinks the bike is worth $300, while another person is willing to pay $600. The same thing happens in the stock market every single day. Some buyers think a price is cheap, while sellers may think the price is expensive. Now, when buyers and sellers finally agree on a fair price, the market becomes balanced. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to identify supply and demand zones using the higher time frame as well as a lower time frame, so that your trades may be more accurate. This video will help you make the connection between balance and imbalance markets. If you're unsure of that, go back and look at the previous video that I made about that. Now remember, balanced markets usually move sideways, while imbalanced markets tend to trend strongly. Supply and demand zones often form right before those strong moves happen. I want you to think about supply and demand zones like a rocket, a landing place before the rocket takes off. Try to visualize what that means. So a rocket is waiting and waiting and waiting, and then here comes aggressive buyers pushing the market back up, just like a rocket. Now let's define what it means as a demand zone and a supply zone. So a demand zone is an area where aggressive buyers previously pushed price higher. Okay, it's a strong bullish move. Now, supply zone is opposite. It's an area where aggressive sellers previously pushed price lower, and that would be considered a strong bearish move. These areas are important because the market may react there again later. Now, earlier we learned about support and resistance. Supply and demand zones help explain why those areas sometimes react. Now, one important thing I want you to keep in mind is that I like using higher time frames first because they help reduce market noise. And what I mean by market noise is the multiple small candles that may confuse beginner traders. Now, the lower time frame is very messy versus the 4-hour chart, and lower time frames can move very quickly and create fake moves that confuse beginners. So I usually start on a 4-hour chart first. I also want you to know that I use the 4-hour chart almost every day for my trades. I prefer to use it. It takes the nervousness out of trading, and it helps me develop better trades versus the lower time frame. It also helps me clearly see where strong trend moves and imbalances begin. Then after I identify an important zone on a higher time frame, I can move down to a 30-minute chart to refine that area more closely. Take a look at this video. I'll show you how I find the demand zones on the 4-hour. So let's start with a demand zone. This is a 4-hour chart. It doesn't matter what chart you use, but we're going to start on the 4-hour because of the higher time frame that I prefer. And we're going to look for a demand zone. Now, when looking for a demand, I first look for a strong aggressive move upward. So I identified this move here. Okay. I want to see buyers aggressively push price higher. Then I look to the left to find the base or consolidation area before the move. So right here is our consolidation. And let me just adjust this box. Consolidation move right here. Now I want you to be aware that for beginners, I like using the candle bodies from open to close when drawing zones. Now this creates cleaner zones and help reduce noise. Now some traders use wicks, but I prefer to use the candle bodies. So we're going to draw from here to here, top to bottom. And we're going to go ahead and extend this over. And you can choose a green background so that when the price returns to this area, you know that it's a supply zone. Okay, so let's extend it to the right. And you can even label it. You can say 4-hour demand zone. Okay. All right. I want you to remember that zones are areas, they're not exact prices. Okay, so now you know how to find a demand zone. Let's take a look at how to find the supply zone. For a supply zone here, so this is a 4-hour chart, a gas chart. Okay, and we're looking for that downward move right here. And then look at the candle before that downward move happened. And we're going to put a rectangle around the top and bottom of the candle body. Okay. So essentially when it comes back to this area, it should do the same thing. It should reject. So one of the most important things to watch is what happens when price revisits these areas later on. Markets often remember important imbalance areas. Now when price returns, buyers or sellers may become active again. This is why price sometimes reacts near old supply and demand zones. Let's move over so that you can see what happened here. Okay, right here. It came right into our demand zone, and what happened? Bought right back up, aggressive buyers. Right, here's another example. Aggressive buyers, okay, all right. Now, there can be some strong zones and some weak zones. That's why I started the 4-hour to identify the more stronger zones. And not all zones are equal. Usually, the faster and more aggressive price leaves an area, the stronger the zone may become. Take a look at my current trade and how I use volume and supply and demand zones to figure out how to trade it. This is actually a current trade that I'm looking at now. I've been waiting on it for 3 days. Okay, so this is a 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, or you can use micro Bitcoin. Okay, so here's our move upward. Okay, and then I'm going to find my demand zone. So the move started right here. This is our candle body, top and the bottom, and I have it marked off. And as you can see, currently, this is May 18th. Currently, it is sitting in that demand zone. And so I'm waiting for the move back up. Okay. And how do I figure out when that move happens? Well, I look at volume. Okay. So remember in a previous video, we talked about volume. If you're unsure of that, you can check out my volume video. But I'm looking for above average volume. So right here we have this white line at the bottom, and I'm looking for a candle to be above that, above average. But I wouldn't look at the 4-hour, I would actually go to the day. Okay, so looks like sales are slowing down here. So maybe tomorrow this will be the move back up. Now just remember, if strong volume appears during the move away, that can make the zone even more important. Finally, let's look at this video here about finding the zone on the 4-hour and then moving down to the 30-minute and why it's important. So this is Bitcoin 4-hour again. So we have our 4-hour marked as demand here. So I'm going to actually label it because I want to show you demand. I want to show you on the 30-minute is maybe the 1-hour. We're going to mark our demand zone there. Okay, so let's go to 30 minutes. Okay, so it has a little bit more noise, as I told you previously in the video. More candles here. But let's see. So we have our move up here. And let's see if we can narrow it down a little bit more. Maybe we're going to include these little candles down here, or maybe even here, because, yeah, let's include this one. The top of the candle body to the bottom, and I'm going to label this 30 minutes. Okay, so why am I doing this? Well, I'm trying to figure out if this is a very strong demand area. So if I'm looking for the Bitcoin trade, I should be aware that it can drop all the way down here to 75,290. This is 75,290. It can drop all the way down here and hold and then bounce. So it just gives me a wider range to see where aggressive buyers will come in place and push the price back up. Okay, so just to recap, to find supply and demand zones, start with the higher time frame, look for strong imbalance moves, and find the base before expansion, and mark the candle bodies from open to close. Now, the more charts you study, the easier these zones become easier to recognize. Remember, the purpose of markets is always looking for fair value. Is this price appropriate for me to buy here? Is this a good price to sell at? Just as we had from the example at the beginning about the bike and the PlayStation. So I hope you learned something today about supply and demand zones. Please put a like and comment below if you have any questions about the market. And remember, it's best to learn first and trade later. Thank you.